Hey guys, welcome to the Review Crew 100. Of course, today is Sunday, and I'm going to sort of, not necessarily review, even though I know this is a review channel, but I'm sort of kind of going to do a video Halloween 1978 versus Halloween 2007. Now, many people that I talk to, fans, both agree, pretty much 95% of the fan base agrees that John Carpenter's Halloween is the best out of the franchise, and it's, of course, better than the remake. But, at the same time, people do like Rob Zombie's Halloween. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Personally, I don't like Rob Zombie's Halloween, and personally think it's actually quite a bad remake, but a lot of people are out there saying it's like the best remake of all the slashers. I'm not going to get into too much of that. Pretty much, exactly, Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween versus Rob Zombie's Halloween. I do just want to come out and say that I am pretty much in that 95%, that John Carpenter's Halloween is better than Rob Zombie's Halloween. Halloween is an extremely low budget. It was like the lowest budget film that you can imagine. It wasn't like Solo, but it wasn't, big budgeted. It was created on a budget of like $325,000. John Carpenter was inspired by many of previous, horror films like Psycho and Black Christmas. Now, John Carpenter has never cited Black Christmas as an inspiration for Halloween, but there is so many more references than from Psycho and films of that sort that John Carpenter got inspiration for Halloween. I think actually Black Christmas is his #1 inspiration for this movie, but he's never cited that. But Halloween, premiered in 1978 to actually bad reviews, and it wasn't until a few months later that the film started getting recognized for being, great as it is. The acting is fantastic. I do just want to say that out of all the low-budget slasher films of the 70s and even the 80s, of that genre, slasher movies and the 2 decades itself, the 70s and 80s, this takes the pick, I think, for low-budget horror movie acting. There's not blood and gore. This is not your typical slasher film. This was before Friday the 13th and films of that sort that weren't scary, and they just, pretty much went for gore. There really wasn't too much of a story. Now then, if you look at Halloween as a standalone film, it really doesn't have a plot. It is just a guy going around killing people. But at the same time, it's actually scary. What rip-off films after Halloween tried to do. Friday the 13th, Prom Night, films of that sort try to copy Halloween, and they just couldn't get it right. The cinematography actually created some cliches in horror movies. The blue backlighting is fantastic, and it's creepy. Definitely in the scene where Laurie Strode is in the closet and Michael Myers is, right outside the door, and there's lights coming through the slits of, the closet doors, and it just makes it creepy. The mask. I think still, out of the 70s and 80s, that the William Shatner 1975 Captain Kirk mask is the most original mask you could have thought of. A lot of people say, the most scariest mask goes, it's between Michael Myers and Jason, but to be honest with you, Michael Myers takes my pick. Because it's emotion. It doesn't have any face on it. you could put whatever you want on it. It's just a blank, pale mask. You can't really make fun of it, I'm just saying, as Jason Voorhees, you can, make hockey jokes, you know what I mean? Michael Myers, you really can't. While at the same time, it is a Captain Kirk mask, technically, it's, sort of revamped, and tailored to the movie. Michael Myers as a serial killer, while he wasn't the first slasher, nor the first slasher not to talk, but I think it took it to a whole new level. Really, seriously. Even though I didn't review it, I will tell you guys, I definitely give this film a 5 out of 5 stars. It is the greatest of all the slasher films. Nothing's changed. Nothing and nobody's changed my mind since I've seen it back in the 90s. That's a long time. And being a big horror fan, Halloween definitely takes, John Carpenter's Halloween definitely takes my pick for the greatest slasher film ever made. In 2007, Halloween was remade by heavy metalist and up-and-coming horror movie director Rob Zombie. When this first premiered and started getting news all over the internet, I remember everybody was attacking Rob Zombie, saying this is going to suck, it's going to be so stupid. And then it came out and everybody was, that said that sort of went to, wow, this is a great film. But to be honest with you, this film ruins Michael Myers. It doesn't ruin the franchise. A lot of people say that, but it doesn't ruin the franchise. The film's always going to be there. You could just leave this one out. It's like it never it doesn't ruin the franchise. I think it does ruin Michael Myers' image and his scariness. The first about 40 minutes of this film is Michael Myers' childhood, which is so silly and actually quite times laughable. Michael Myers somehow kills this kid from Spy Kids with a stick, okay? I'm not trying to joke the film. I still do not know how, like a little 12-year-old kid, 10-year-old, whatever Michael Myers is supposed to be in this one, kills somebody with a stick. I really don't know why or how in the first place. And then Michael Myers kills somebody with a fork. And it just gets to the point where it's like, it's so silly. The kills are absolutely laughable, and they're kind of funny in the beginning, actually. But now, where I was saying where Michael Myers' image is sort of lessened to an extent, we learn why Michael Myers kills. In John Carpenter's Halloween, it just opened up with Michael Myers killing his sister, and we fast forward 15 years later. Rob Zombie's Halloween, it pretty much opens like that. It's Michael Myers' childhood, and it's so cliched that it's not even original. A lot of people say, oh, that's really original. A little boy starts torturing animals, and he's abused and bullied, and then he becomes a serial killer. That's original? Really? I don't know where people get that from, but that's actually what I've heard. It's so cliched, and like I said, a few parts are just silly there, here and there, and just the fact that we learn why Michael Myers kills. Once he becomes an adult in this movie and he gets his mask, he's not scary, because he was abused. We feel for Michael Myers. We feel for him, And also in this movie, I kind of wanted every single character to die. Except Danielle Harris, because she's hot and she will one day be my wife. And I am proud to admit that on YouTube. Anyway, really, Danielle Harris and, what's that guy's name that plays Sheriff Brackett? Brad Dourif. Yes, they were the only likable characters in this movie. I know it's a remake, you can, redo and, sort of go into more, things, but you should also stay true to the formula as well. That's something I also wanted to talk about. This film, unlike John Carpenter's Halloween, which has literally no blood at all, virtually no blood, it works on suspense. This film works on just blood and guts. That's all it is. And while, yes, of course, someone's going to stab you, it's going to be, bloody. While, yes, the kills, are a little realistic, but at times there's so much blood on the ground and around the people, it's actually impossible, literally. It's like that scene from the original Halloween 2 with the nurse and where Michael Myers sort of drained her blood, and there's like literally, I think, like 10 gallons of blood. It just gets to the point where it's like, how does she have that much blood? It's unrealistic, actually, at some points. But this actually does just work on sex and teenagers, doing a whole bunch of stuff, and blood and guts. That's really what this movie is. Anyway, John Carpenter's Halloween versus Rob Zombie's Halloween. Personally, I still got to go with the acting. I thought the acting was actually quite cheesy in this film, and even for a film from 1978, I thought for a low-budget film that had very few known actors besides Donald Pleasence, I thought the acting was fantastic. I hated Scout Taylor Compton. I found her annoying. I wanted to kill her myself, to be honest with you. The characters are unlikable in this film, in Rob Zombie's Halloween. In John Carpenter's Halloween, you don't want the characters to die. You just don't, no matter what they do. You just like the characters. And you, like I said, in this film, you don't learn why Michael Myers kills. Anyway, John Carpenter's Halloween versus Rob Zombie's Halloween. Like I said, at least 95% of the fans out there, John Carpenter's Halloween all the way. It's just better in every single way, from the acting to the cinematography to everything, to be honest with you. Direction, writing. Also, one more thing I do have to say that I don't like about Rob Zombie's films is, why does everybody have to be white trash? I mean, like, seriously. I know Rob Zombie is white trash, but come on now. And then there's these foul-mouthed white trash people. I mean, whether that's how Rob Zombie sees the world, or whether that's maybe the way he is, I don't know. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say. If you guys were asking me, like I said, I gave John Carpenter's Halloween 5 out of 5. I give this one probably a 1 out of 5. Sucks. Don't see it. Anyway, that is my I actually wouldn't call it a review, but that is my video for the Review Crew 100 for Sunday today. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later.